Hello and welcome to another video. This is a quick update on the 70s cassette haul video that you can see in the card just up there, and the link is in the description. All of these ones have music which I don't like, and I don't particularly want the cassettes either. So these ones I'm going to probably sell on eBay, and if I do, I'll do another video on that and you can have a look at them and buy them from me if you want to help out the channel a little bit. I did have to throw away 4 of those cassettes from that haul because they were either broken or so badly mangled that I wouldn't want to use them or sell them on. Okay, so this one, Kraftwerk, was the only cassette that had music on it which I liked and wanted to keep. So that one's going to go in my cassette drawer. I'm going to find a box for it. It's going to go in my cassette drawer so I can listen to it. I'm not going to re-record it. I'm just going to listen straight as it is. The quality of those recordings was very good. Some of the tapes let down the recording quality, but the quality of the recordings was very good, which I'm very happy about. This one here, the Pyral Superferrite, that cassette comeback says is probably a Type 3. I'm going to keep that because I really like the cassette. I don't like the music that's on it, and the quality of the actual tape is poor, but I'm just going to keep it as something nice to look at, and it's the only Type 3 cassette that I own. So that one's going to go on my desk as like a museum piece or something to look at. I've had a look at all the instruction manuals for the decks I've got. I don't actually have a deck that will record on a Type 3 anyway, so there's no point in me trying to get hold of a new one to use. Likewise for these two, this SM security mechanism, it says on some of their cassettes, and on some of them it says special mechanism. Cassette Comeback did a review of these, and on Type 3 cassettes, which BASF did make, the special mechanism inside, which is designed to keep the tape spooled nicely onto the reels, it can shred those Type 3 cassettes. Type 3 is like you have one layer of regular ferric and then one layer of cobalt duct tape, and it basically sheds them off. But in any case, both of these sound awful when I record on them, when I rewind them. So I don't really want bits of tape in my decks, which are drawer loading decks, because they're hard to get open and take to pieces. So I won't be using that. I'll just be keeping this just as a cassette to look at. And this one here, when I wind it on forward or backwards, makes a horrible grinding noise. So I'm not going to. But I love this cassette almost as much as I love this cassette, which that's an earlier version of this. So I'm going to keep this. It's only fit for the bin otherwise, but I'm going to keep it just as something nice to look at from time to time. Moving on to these Memorex 2 Oxide ones. These are the ones that have a non-standard pad. One of the tapes I threw away, the pad had fallen off, and I bought a new old stock version of something similar, and the pad was gripping the tape too hard, and when I recorded on it, it made the tape all bumpy and sounded awful. So these I'm not going to risk in one of my decks. There's not much information online on them, but what I have found out is people just hate them. They would take the tape out, put the tape in different shells. The shells are awful. Now, funnily enough, this is a C120. This is a 120-minute one. The boxes are fantastic. I love the boxes, so I'm going to keep those. But again, these are going to be museum pieces, I suppose. Now, this one, almost to prove the point that the mechanism is not very good, is this one's actually been broken open. So it's been split, and they're screwed shells, not screwed, they're glued shells. So you can see someone's actually gone into that with some sort of Stanley knife to do something with the mechanism inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a video one day. Whether it will go up on the channel or not depends on whether it's interesting. But I'm actually going to take that one to pieces because I don't want to use these anyway. But it'd be interesting before they go in the bin to find out exactly what's inside it. Now, I played this one. Roxy Music is actually quite good on this, but it was after I listened to Roxy Music and I thought I'm going to put something else on side 2 and keep this one. It was after that I got the new old stock one, which was a complete disaster, and realised these pads are rubbish. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. They come with these hub, these spool protectors, which you fit in now. They come with these white things which stop them from unspooling in the cassette, and I really like them, but I know that even if I bought a new old stock one, they're likely to be very poor. They just haven't, the tape has degraded over the years. This is what I've heard online. The tape was good, and these were sort of late 70s, early 80s, I think. The tape stock was good, but it has just degraded over the years, and no one has a good thing to say about them, even if they don't, even if the pads have been replaced. So that one's been taken apart on another video. It'd be a shame to throw these away because they look fantastic. So I guess that's going to be another display item for me. Just to confirm, this tape has actually got 1977 on it. So that is what, 45 years old, 46 years old, 45 and a half years old. So pretty old tapes. So this one's 1978 or to 1980 these were made, I found out. And really like the style of the cassette. The cassette looks a bit uneven. The tape, I mean, looks a bit uneven. You can see there, but it's not damaged. So I think it's just not well calendared, if that's the right word. So I do like that, and it plays all right. So I'm going to try to put something else on that, see if it records okay. Luckily, I've got a deck with auto calibration. Likewise for this one, same vintage. I think they're the same vintage, but they had a different colour scheme for C60s and C90s. Again, the tape looks not too bad and sounds okay, so I'm going to try to put recordings on those and reuse those. There were two of these. This is what Cassette Comeback calls his most nostalgic tape, because he used to buy these, and he says they look like a BASF Type 3. What I like about this one is it's got an unused J card, which is quite nice, and for nostalgia purposes I'm going to leave the 48p on. That shows how old this is, or how cheap it was at the time. But if Cassette Comeback liked them, if he used a lot of them, they must have been okay back in the day. So I don't like the music on it, it plays alright, so I'm going to try to record onto that one as well. And finally, it's the same story for this. I've got a lot of BASF LH cassettes, but not with this, not of this style and this age. And I quite like them, so I'm going to record onto that one too. So that's it for this video. I just want to let you know that out of that whole haul, only 4 were completely dead. Lots will get sold on because I don't like them very much, although they don't sell very well on eBay. And out of that batch, I've got 14 which I'm going to try and reuse. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.